Hey guys, how you doing? This is Chris Archer here. I wanted to talk about the events of 1811 and what happened to the geography of this country and what they're hiding. And this is what they're hiding. This is the middle of the 1700s, okay? Take a look at the map here. Where is it? Hold on. There's 1652. Right there. Okay, here's 1652. Right here. Take a look at California, guys. You see it? It's an island. The whole thing is an island. It's not just California. It's part of the whole Northwest. And this is just California showing right here, but the whole part of the Northwest was an island that went all the way up to the top towards Alaska, as you see. Right here. Coming out of the Baja. Now these islands that are right here, that are in there, are the actual mountaintops. Check it out. These islands right here are the actual mountaintops in the actual areas like Shasta and Mammoth Mountain in that area. All these people that were living in this area, and I'm going to show you, is called the Septent. Right here. Serpents, guys. I'm telling you right now, the whole area. That's why everybody was here. Look. Everybody was on the coast. Check it out. Because the middle of the country, right now, where Oklahoma, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, the northern plains, the dead middle of the country, just take a look at it. Here. This part of America, check it out. It's called the Septentrionales. Okay? These were the serpents. These were giants. Okay, so they still lived here. Look. They were still living in the area, right, that wasn't habitated here. And this is 17 or 16 something, maybe 16 something, let's see, 1652, okay? So we know 1652. We know that now, right? And if we look, we can see where all the people that came, right, from Europe or wherever they came from, wherever these colonies were basically getting ready to well, let's just say they were starting this country. But what happened in 1811 and 1812, all through that whole year, was we had a massive earthquakes. And the recording now has about 6,000 or so earthquakes, with two major earthquakes, one in 1811 and one in 1812. Actually, I believe the one in 1811 was in December, and the 1812 was in February, so they weren't very far away, the large earthquakes, okay? So what happened was, and we have testified, or we have people now starting to give us testimony of people who were alive, like their relatives. Not grandfathers, but great-great-grandfathers who were here, okay, who came over here, especially in Texas and all these other places where they came from, in South America, in Europe, and everywhere else where they immigrated here for some reason. They brought them over here. What happened over in Europe was another story. They were probably killing people off over there also, and they were probably giants, like what they're hiding right now. That Tartaria area may not even have been an empire, just might have been where the giants lived. And the giants were everywhere. And this is what they're hiding. Not only are they hiding the free energy that they were using in the cities, in the 1800s and the 1900s, when they destroyed Baltimore, San Francisco, Chicago, and all the other major cities, right, that were players in this thing. But before all that, guys, in 1600s, right here, you're seeing it right here. In the 1600s, so we had a massive cataclysm, okay, after 1750 sometime, and I'm going to assume that it was a bunch of earthquakes from late 1700s to the early 1800s, with the two massive earthquakes right here. Watch this. This area, that fault line, and then there was a fault line here. This area was destroyed. All this shit, all these people, I think, were destroyed. Not to mention all of them over here, right, in this area, when there's islands also. Now, the testimonies come out that some of the great-great-grandparents of people who were alive in Texas said that these mountains popped up out of nowhere after the earthquakes of 1811. Okay, so you're seeing the geography actually kind of points to that, right? It's not, we don't have exact definitions or exact dates, right? But we can see it. You can see it. Now, what was all this? Up here, there's Canada's not even there, my friends. Okay, Canada's not even in there if you look. You see that? Canada's not here. Where is it? It's not there. This was the empire of the giants. Okay, right there. And look, you can see that the Great Lakes aren't even formed yet. Hello? 1650, guys. The Great Lakes aren't here yet. There's part of them, but that was also filled in with land also. And not to mention, over here, okay, in this area, where the Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, all these lakes over here, okay, these two, Ontario and Erie, weren't even here. Where are they? They're not even here yet. So something massive happened. And look up here. Nova Britannia. Okay, the New Britain. Nova Canada. Look how small it was. Right there, Canada. Look what the hell happened here. And look over here. Look at these people over here. They look like normal people, don't they? No, they don't. They don't look like people I would hang out with in whatever century. You know what I'm saying? These are barbarians and shit, guys. These people eat people probably and shit. That's probably what was going on here. And the Indians were probably mixed up right in the middle of this shit, right? The Indians could tell you a lot. If we could just get the true story of the Native Americans, we already know they killed most of them, but they did more than that. They killed everybody. It wasn't just the Native Americans, just like over in the Holocaust. It wasn't just Jews that they killed. Let's face it, who were the people that were doing it? What are they doing now? Christianity was under fire. They changed everything and called it Christianity when it was nothing to do with the Bible. Had nothing to do with it. Catholicism was a joke. An absolute satanic-run organization that changed Christianity forever. And it started in this country, too. In this country, it started right here in Baltimore. Right there on the water. Right there, baby. They came up to Chesapeake Bay, and Baltimore's right there. Look at it. So look at the areas, guys. And forget about the Louisiana Purchase and all the rest of the stupidity, right, that they told us about Magellan and all these other... Come on. I don't give a shit about that. This stuff was already founded and already known about. It had to have been, because if they're going to reset something, they already had their whole geography straight. They knew what everything was and where it was. So what happened here? Did they reset? Did God reset? Or did it happen with both plans? Was the plan ultimate and they were part of it? Are the same people part of it? Are still hiding everything? Same people. It's just their relatives, that's all. They might not be the same people, but they're still the relatives of those people. So in retrospect, the seed that comes from these people is exactly that. It's the bad seed. Look at all this space up here now. And this is 1654. And I'll go back to some other pictures from 1700s. Okay, early 17th century right here. Let me see. Hold on a second. Early 1700 to 1799. All right, so right there, guys. Look at it. Take a look. I'll show it to you. Here it is. There's the island of California. Separate. You see that? And look at the Great Lakes. I don't see Great Lakes. There's Texas here, Florida here, Virginia, Maryland, Mid-Atlantic here. There's nothing in there. Guys, there's nothing in the middle of the country. Look at this shit. What's it say? New what? I can't even see that. New something. I can't see it. You see what? It has something there. I can't see what that says. It's too damn not legible, right? But we're getting the pictures. We see it. It's right there, man. Check it out. How you like that? And there it is. The American. These are the people. Those are it. The serpents. The septentrionalis. I can't even say the word. Septentrion. Well, I guess that's close. Septentrionalis. America, guys, this is where the serpents were actually still alive. Back here in up to 1811. History is absolutely false. It's not even close to being true, okay? Now let's go take a look at United States after 1811, okay? Let's do that. So you can do that. If I pull up, let's see, images of California, let's see. Images of California in 1800s. All right, let's do that. And we'll pull up these images right here that they give us of California, okay, in the 1800s. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. I didn't want to get just regular pictures. So you see, look. You see the difference? You see what happened in like 10 years? Just happened right overnight almost, guys. It happened in 1 year. The whole geography was changed in this country in 1 year. Do you see it? Look. It's right there. See if I can't pull that up. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me get that. Right there. Do you see it now? This went all the way up to here. That water line. And you can see these mountains and all mountaintops where they're now digging into, right? The same mountains that they're digging into and pulling this demon dust out, the DNA or whatever the blood is, out of these giants that were laying and strewn across here. That area right there was open with water. Now it's closed. You see the earth rose right out of the ground and the mountains came up with it. And that's what the testimony is from these older people. Okay, you're getting that testimony now. We're starting to get actual testimony on YouTube and other places. If you look, you'll see it, that people's relatives were telling them that the events of 1811 through 1812 changed the geography of this country, and that history is lying. So everything that they told you, even the wars and all that shit, may not have been exactly what was going on. The wars might have been real, but the reasoning behind them could have been to cover up the destruction of this country. Okay, and they didn't want nobody to know about it. And that's easy to hide. Why? What did we do? Before, we were what? Hiding everything, right? Let's go back. Before, we had people, where was it? All lined up on the one part of the coast. You see how much space is left in the middle there? And this is another 1800s or 1700s, previous 1811. You can see the island. You can see the mountains had come out of the island and the water had gone off, okay? So that water probably ran down, out, over the valleys. What else would have happened to the water? If the land comes up, the water's going to come up onto the land and move over it. So you had that, and then you had this happen right here. These lakes were created because of that. It had to have been, because this is 1700s. And there's no Lake Erie or Lake Superior, or maybe Lake Ontario. I'm not really sure. I think Lake Superior was the main lake right here. You see it? It was huge, right there, like that part of the bay that's in the bay right now. As we go to Google Earth, all right, you'll see that Hudson Bay. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. How it was cut off. The land came up, right? The land popped up, and the water ran off. And it looks like the water settled into the areas right here. Look, where's that bay at? There's the bay right there. So you see what I'm talking about. First of all, this was all water from here. All this was water up here. This is all an island. All this area, this wasn't even here. You see these mountains that came up? That wasn't even here in the 1700s. The whole, let me just tell you something. Forget the Ice Age. You can throw that shit right out the damn window. You can't even get history for 200 years. How are you going to get history from billions of years ago, which it didn't even happen? The world itself, if you want, in my estimation, isn't even 8,000 years old. That's it. So all the shit that they said that happened before that is a lie. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? This was the Septians. This whole area was Septient America. Okay? That's serpents, guys. These are giants and mixed breeds of just absolute abominations to God. They were all over the earth, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. They surrounded it, like, sort of, kind of. In other words, their empires were like this. right? They had branched out from here. Remember? The beginning of time. Where the tree of life used to be. This whole area was the tree of life. This massive spot right there was a massive tree that was built on a mountain. The mountain's still there. This Google Earth is a lie. Don't even think about this Google Earth being even close to being accurate. I wouldn't even worry about it. The only thing it's good for is to give you names and shit. It's not good for anything else, because the geography on here is bullshit on Google Earth. It's not even, the Earth doesn't even look like this anyway. And to put it into a small ball and then roll it around, right, to bring it in and zoom it out, that's exactly what they did. That's all they did with Google Earth. They took the whole world, right, a picture of the whole world, and they brought it into a circle like this. And what they do, they just zoomed it in like that, so you can only see parts of it. And that's what you see. It's such a fake-ass diagram. It ain't even funny. I don't even think there is a real picture of the Earth, because honestly, if I go to the top of the firmament where I believe the firmament to be, right, to get to the top of the firmament may be a big issue as it is. There could be people there guarding it. You don't even know that. You don't know if there's angels guarding the firmament, which there probably is. So if you're up there and you're taking a picture of the Earth, it's almost impossible to see the whole Earth in one picture, if you get what I'm saying. Because space doesn't exist, there couldn't be more than 20 miles up. That's it. You can't see the whole damn thing from there. That might be the problem. They may not have the ability to actually see it. Okay? They could probably piece it together. But guys, I have a feeling that everything they tell you is made up, and they just can't do what they say. It's all a game. It's all a mind game to understand who's in charge, right? To give you the power and the might, and then physically show you who has it, and then mentally break your ass down to obey everything that they say. That's it. That's my story, guys. That's my story of how the Grand Canyon got there. All of it. The whole damn thing. All of it, guys. The whole Grand Canyon, the whole nine. All this shit was not here. Okay? None of it. You could see the maps, guys. Why the hell would you think they would have maps of the world? They're still there. The authors were legible authors of the maps. Why would they draw maps that didn't exist? Where the hell would you make that up? You wouldn't. You would know what it is. This whole area that looks like a bunch of demons, look at it. Just take a look at this area. Look at it. All this shit looked like it came from underwater and rose up out of the ground. Look at all the mountains. It's insane. And the guys that lived in Texas said, and he said he lived here, right here. Hold on. Get that off. The guy that I was listening to, the person's relatives or whatever, right, said that he lived in this area, right here, in the panhandle of Texas. Okay, right there. Alright. So he lived in this area. He said these mountains, his great-great-grandfather said that those mountains weren't even there until after the 1811 catastrophes. Okay? And it wasn't just one catastrophe. There were two main earthquakes. And I believe it was 1811 in December, and I believe it was 1812 in February. I believe those months from December to February, from 1811 to 1812, changed the landscape of this country. For good. Forever. Well, not forever. Until God changes again. They might be trying to change the landscape of this country, but in retrospect, God controls the underground of this whole structure that's under. It probably has a mechanical structure underneath of it. There's sections of the world that probably move on yokes, okay? And are tied together like God says in Enoch. So God probably moved this thing. Okay, now to change the landscape like this, it would have to have an act of God. Okay, because if you look, let's go back. Guys, that wasn't even there. For one, this was all one big open land, like open water, right here. Where is it? This was one big open water with a couple lakes right here. Now these two lakes over here, and this whole opening at the top, came after the earthquake. What was in that area that went underwater? Right? What was in this area that was pushed off the shelf and rose up into the mountains, right? Into rock. Remember that? Remember they were turned to stone. Look at that face just sitting in there. You see it? If I could show it to you. You see it? Nose on the ridge right there. You see that face? Look at that. Is that what really happened? Were there massive giants and they were just killed with this earthquake cataclysm? And who caused it? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm assuming they had something to do with it. But who are they? Were they working for God? Are they still working for God? Is God under command? Absolutely. 100%, guys. Whatever's going on down here, I got to tell you, it was said to be coming, and it is coming, because it came before. It wasn't even that long ago. If you think they're not going to do it again, you're crazy. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? It just happened in 1811. That's only what? 200 years ago. Guys, 200 years. Our country really is that old. 1700s. So they planned this whole thing out during the Declaration of Independence, guys. The whole thing, the Constitution, everything was planned out to reset this country and the geography. So it doesn't matter really who was in charge of it. The ultimate plan here is just going to happen anyway. I don't care who's in charge of it. It doesn't matter who writes the details and when they write the dates, because that shit don't matter. All your thoughts are brought to you from God everywhere. It's his plan. He already made the plan. That's why we're all predestined here on this earth. For you to, that's why the whole abortion thing is a joke. There is no pro-life choice. It's not a choice. Okay? It's not. There's no choice. Once God puts a life in you, it was predestined to be here. There's no choice of you to take that life. There is no choice. So as far as I'm concerned, pro-life and pro-choice are a joke. The whole Roe versus Wade bullshit is a joke. You shouldn't even be choosing to take another life that was predestined by God. Forget about it. The whole abortion thing is a joke. Forget about that. They ought to abort that. The whole lie should be aborted. And you see, I'm not even getting up to this area right here. That happened a long time ago. Now you can see the whole geography was changed in possibly a 2-year period, maybe 10 years. Maybe from the end of 1700 to the early 1800s to 1812. And after that, all bets are off. Because most of the cities that were destroyed after that had free energy and all kinds of shit. Baltimore is the same, just like all the rest of them. 1904, Baltimore had a massive fire, right? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this real quick at the Baltimore fire. And we'll be right. Hold on 1 second. All right, as we take a look at pictures from the book from McDonough Davis, Associates presents the Baltimore Blaze. And as we look at some of these pictures, I'm going to show you. Here it is right here. 1904. Okay. Written by Peter B. Peterson. Probably made up name. But look at that. Take a look at the fire. Check out the 1904. Check out these signal transformers or signal extenders, line extenders. Check them out. They don't even look like they're wired, do they? There's wires. You can see the wires coming from these poles. Check it out, from the telephone lines. But not these. What are those things? Right? I see them all over the place. Forget about that. Who cares? We already know they're hiding shit. And free energy, first of all, if anyone thinks they're not hiding energy from you, free energy, then how the hell do you think they got the energy from the beginning? Exactly. What do you think? They spent millions and billions of dollars to figure out that electromagnetic energy works? All right? No. They didn't do that, guys. This has been written down and forever. Shit's been hidden forever. They get energy for free and then charge you for it. And then you say to me, well, they should charge you for it. They built all the poles and all that shit. I don't want to hear that shit. If you want energy and you want free energy, then they can have people do it themselves. Right? I'll be glad to build my own pole for my own house. Okay? How's that? Yeah, exactly. They don't want you to. In the long run, it's a damn scam and it's just money in their pockets. And you know it. We don't have to even go there, do we? Forget about the energy part. We already know it. But look at that. What's that? It's an aerial in the sky burning Baltimore down. Look. Right on Howard Street. There's the fire. And you look at the sky, there's Baltimore, pictures of Baltimore burning, and you can see the firemen, right, with the horse-drawn carriages and the water and the cannons. Look, the water cannon. Look, they're squirting water. I don't even see the fire. What are they squirting water on? Here comes the fire down the street. See it? It's a big ass aerial, guys, right in the sky, burning the shit out of cities like it does every city. Like every aerial is involved in every reset, in every catastrophe, in every flood, in every massive snowstorm, earthquake, tsunami, mudslide, fire, wildfire. You name it, they're creating it. And it's with these aerials, and it hasn't just started now. This has been going on forever. So whatever they're doing up there, they built some kind of addition to whatever was up there before. Okay? That's all. Because when you see the white planes go across, my friends, I'm going to show you what they really are. They're not chem planes. What are they? They're these. They're little demon centipede rods. See them going across the structures? Right there. You can even see them being shot out of a gun. You see that? Take a look. What that is like, it's like the catapults that fly out of the arms or from the belt, right, of Batman. Same thing. These are just structured rods so they can complete the task at hand here. Watch again. In the black area, you'll see it. And you see how they catch and then they take off again. They're sticking to something. See how they hesitate and then they take off again. Again, we'll take a look at it. Quick shot. There it is. You can see it's being shot out of a gun. I can see the gun being exposed as they come out. They're not hiding that. They're not hiding anything. As we look again, this is the actual video. And you'll see them shoot across. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now closer, you'll see one and one behind it. One behind it right there, and then another. As you see, we'll come back. Oh, not working. Doesn't want to work for me today. There it is. Alright. See it shoot out of the gun? Get a gun. It's right there. There's the gun. Coming right out of it. Check it out. There's the gun right there. Again. Show it to you again. Hold on. Way back. One more. One more time. This is the best shot. Right here. Watch it. Yep. See one shot from an aerial gun. There's the gun right there. You see it releasing itself right out of that hole, right out of its gun right here. Right there. There's a boom with a gun on it. It's sitting right there. Here comes one behind it. So you got one coming here, from here, and then you got a gun right here. Oh, watch that. See another one shooting here. Out of that gun right there. You see it? Coming out of this thing. Right there. Back again. You can even see this gun. Check it out. Okay, this one starts here. Starts here. Stops right here and connects and then keeps going. Alright, watch. See it? Stops there and connects and then hesitates and keeps going. Another one shot above it and then below it right there. These are structures. What they're doing, and why are they doing this then? Let me tell you why. What they're doing is connecting these spots that are in the air to the fence, to the skyline fence. And then they're going to use this area right here that they already built. Look at it. This is a platform. Underneath that area, they're going to use, this is going to be for aerials right here. Okay? For tools. And this is what they're doing above our heads, guys. Check it out. Now, you want to know how they're resetting the world? Well, it's an ultimate plan from God, right? That happens. I don't care what they think or what you think or what your father thinks or what the book says. This is ultimately from God who controls everything. Are we all in agreement with that? Secondary, the thoughts are processed through other people who are what? Who are with the demons. And who are they? They're the serpent people, the same people that run our country, run everybody's country, and have hidden everything from the beginning. Same assholes, okay? Hiding the giants, the titans, the electronics, the energy, the free energy, all the shit that they know that God gave us for free, they're hiding it. What else are they hiding? Everything. They take everything that God created, whether it's food, animals, cattle, veganism, all the vegetation, anything, right, that God created, and they fake it and ruin it. They take everything, all the good shit out of it, and put in the bullshit. And that's just what? It's replacing God again. Every time we turn around, every product, everything that God has created and provided, they have replaced it and changed it. Why? So they can control it. Not to mention, they can control disease, famine, hunger, everything that creates strife and distress in this world, and that motivates people to do shit. Right? Always. Again. So the Baltimore fire was done by aerials. So was the Chicago fire and any other disaster like San Francisco. Already touched on that. I showed you many aerials in the San Francisco disaster, sitting right there when it happened. Here's a real picture from Baltimore in the fire. Do you see? That's not just smoke. Do you see what that is? Look at it. Take a look. See if we can't pull it out for you. This is the actual picture, guys, from the streets burning. And you can look close and you see there's a machine there. It looks eerily familiar to the same machine that I pull up on a daily basis. Does it not? It's just like it. And you can see the parts of the machine hanging again from the sky. Right here. Look at it. Take a look. That's supposed to be a fire. They're sitting there putting fire on the aerial, look, on the building. Burning the hell out, knocking the buildings down also, by the way. It didn't just burn them down, it knocked them down at the same time. This is what goes on every disaster. You think those fires burn down everything in paradise? These aerials knock shit down. They knock things down, guys. They don't just play around, dude. They knock shit down. They don't just burn them, they do everything. There's an aerial right on the ground, look. Right here. While they're sitting there contemplating what to do next. Look at this shit from the harbor, from Baltimore Harbor. Look at all that bullshit, guys. The whole main central area of Baltimore that was settled is completely destroyed. All of it. I don't know where the people went. Who knows? Fire crews tried demolishing buildings around the blaze to stop it from spreading. Yeah, right. These efforts proved unsuccessful. Guys, they didn't do shit. Just like in California, they sit around the outside of the aerial and watch it destroy shit. And what their real job is, A, is to keep people out, 1. 2, is to keep the fire to the area where they're trying to burn, right? And that's the truth, because we've seen actual houses that didn't burn down right next to other houses that burnt down, and then another one next to it wasn't touched. So how the hell do you do that? How do you burn one house in between all the rest of them and nothing's touched between them? It's hard to do, unless you're covering it with an aerial. People are going to have to wake up and understand the aerials are doing everything. So everybody who asked a question on YouTube, how did the resets happen? The answer is the aerials, and that's the end of it. Look at all the area that burned down in Baltimore. Shaped like an aerial. Check it out. See it? How about that one? February 7th, 1904, guys. To suppose that the spirit of our people would not rise to the occasion. Don't you always hear the same shit? Every time we have a disaster, every fake-ass event that they put on TV, they always come together and say the same shit at the end. Let's all rise together from this catastrophe and be all as one. We already were that way. You ruined everything and divided everybody. To suppose that the spirit of our people will not rise to the occasion is to suppose that our people are not genuine Americans. You see how they throw it on you? Don't you love it? We shall make the fire of 1904 a landmark, not of decline, but of progress. No shit. What progress? The ones where you sold energy to everybody and hid all the damn information? That progress? You mean where you got rich and we got poorer? Don't fall for these people. Everything is a lie. The fucking everything. The whole damn, I don't care about any of it. They're all lying. And if they don't know, then they just don't know because they're not involved in the Masons who hide everything. From the beginning, the Knights Templar are the same idiots. Hiding things. Why? When God gave it to us and you hide it from us and then give it back to us in another form, that's the biggest abomination there is in this world. You can't get any more abomination than that. Abominable. So there you go. Fire crews tried to demolish. They didn't do shit. The aerials were the ones that were demolishing the buildings. Okay, all right. And then they blamed it on the firemen, right? Trying to get a control of it. Well, how come there was so much extensive damage? How come you couldn't get the fire out? Well, we had to break these buildings down so it wouldn't destroy other parts. Check out the animal that's sitting in the sky. Check that shit out. So that's Baltimore's fire right there in 1904. And there's the aerial right there. Not to mention all these are aerials. You see them up there? This is right during the fire. The picture during the fire that day. Okay. Nothing was going on that day. It was a perfect day. Perfect. Until this. We even have in the book, you can read it. It says it's a perfect day until this bullshit started. Everything was fine. Right? It was a slightly overcast day. Beautiful day. You know, slightly cold. But for February, it's always cold in Baltimore. So what happened? All of a sudden, the fire breaks out, right? And all of a sudden, it just spreads everywhere. There's no wind. There's no nothing. You don't need wind. Why do you need wind anyway? You don't need wind when you create your own. All right? You don't need wind. You guys think everything here is done on a natural basis when it's all mechanical. If you're in a building and you feel wind blowing and you're inside that building, what do? You look around for a vent, don't you? You look for a fan somewhere. Hello, you're in a building, so start looking around for the objects that are creating it. Okay? Understand that wind just doesn't get blown out of nowhere. It maybe used to get blown from the angels, but not here. Not in this day. Not in this weather catastrophe takeover of the serpentines, the Septuagint's, Septronolus, whatever the hell that meant. Maybe we have to look that word up. I'm sure Septronolus, whatever. Check out some of these just pictures here. It's ridiculous. That's the picture of that thing shooting out right there. You see that? Check that out. That's that gun that I just showed you on the video. Came right out of there. You saw the white centipede with the... What's going on with that centipede? It's not just shooting. It's got a rod attached to it. There's a rod and a cable attached to it. If you know what I'm saying. You can see there's a gun right there. There's a structured gun right there shooting it. It's attached to it. What happened was it got shot from here. It came out of this gun, hit that, and attached to it, and then kept going. So it looks to me like it's just construction of rods and structures. That's all that is. Alright guys, this is Chris Archer. That was the breakdown of what the actual map looked like, and in less than 10-year period, the whole geography of this country changed. Not only that, but so did the people, right? Given the story about history, that shit changed. Everything. And I still believe that the wars in 1811, 1812, these Spanish-American wars, all these wars that they keep saying, I think they started these wars just to cover up the destruction. Who knows? Because there's nobody here anywhere, there's nobody left to talk about it. And if you hide the history of it, and then once the people die, then you have no one to record it. And it's all gone from there. And then who keeps it? The same people who hide everything. Everything. Every piece of good information that's true is getting hidden. So the truth of this country, massive history is wrong. The whole country was started for another reason. Okay, we don't even know what the hell the real reason was, but it sure as hell wasn't for that Constitution, and that Declaration of Independence was something you could have wiped your ass on right off the bat. I can tell you right now, they had no intentions of keeping that Constitution the way they wrote it, because if they would have, they wouldn't have put amendments on it. If you should think about that for a second. Why amend something that's a declaration? Something that's going to be set in stone? Let's put like the Ten Commandments, let's put something in stone and keep it that way. That way you can't go back and chisel it out. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it just doesn't happen that way. Things that were set in stone, just like the Book of Life, are set in stone. They're not going to change. The only thing that changes are the people around it changing the information. That's it. All right, y'all have a good day and God bless us.